The Cane-Bottomed Chair by William Makepeace Thackeray, 1811 to 1863. In tattered old slippers that toast at the bars, and a ragged old jacket perfumed with cigars, away from the world and its toils and its cares, I've a snug little kingdom up 4 pair of stairs. To mount to this realm is a toil, to be sure, but the fire there is bright and the air rather pure, and the view I behold on a sunshiny day is grand through the chimney-pots over the way. This snug little chamber is crammed in all nooks with worthless old knicknacks and silly old books, and foolish old odds and foolish old ends, cracked bargains from brokers, cheap keepsakes from friends. Old armour, prints, pictures, pipes, china all cracked, old rickety tables and chairs broken backed. A 2-penny treasury wondrous to see, what matter? 'Tis pleasant to you, friend, and me. No better divan need the Sultan require than that creaking old sofa that basks by the fire. And 'tis wonderful surely what music you get from the rickety ramshackled wheezy spinet. That praying rug came from a Turcoman's camp. By Tiber once twinkled that brazen old lamp. A Mamluk fierce yonder dagger has drawn, 'tis a murderous knife to toast muffins upon. Long, long through the hours and the nights and the chimes, here we talk of old books and old friends and old times, as we sit in a fog made of rich latacke. This chamber is pleasant to you, friend, and me. But of all the cheap treasures that garnish my nest, there is one that I love and I cherish the best. For the finest of couches that's padded with hair, I would change thee never my cane-bottomed chair. 'Tis a bandy-legged, high-shouldered, worm-eaten seat, with a creaking old back and twisted old feet. But since the fair morning whence Fanny sat there, I bless thee and love thee, old cane-bottomed chair. If chairs have but feeling in holding such charms, a thrill must have passed through your withered old arms. I looked and I longed and I wished in despair, I wished myself turned into a cane-bottomed chair. It was but a moment she sat in this place. She'd a scarf on her neck and a smile on her face, a smile on her face and a rose in her hair, and she sat there and bloomed in my cane-bottomed chair. And so I have valued my chair ever since, like the shrine of a saint or the throne of a prince. Saint Fanny, my patroness sweet I declare, the queen of my heart and my cane-bottomed chair. When the candles burn low and the company's gone, in the silence of night I sit here alone. I sit here alone, but we yet are a pair. My Fanny I see in my cane-bottomed chair. She comes from the past and revisits my room. She looks as she then did, all beauty and bloom, so smiling and tender, so fresh and so fair, and yonder she sits in my cane-bottomed chair. Okay, this is a poem by William Makepeace Thackeray. Let's see, Thackeray is probably most famous for his book Vanity Fair. He was born in Calcutta, and he came to England when he was about 5 years old. He went to Charterhouse School and to Trinity College, Cambridge. He's also famous for the novel The Luck of Barry Lyndon, which was made into a film by Stanley Kubrick. Let's see, he's well known as a satirist, and he's also known for his realism. He's writing about very often the real things. And let's see, this poem, what's this poem about? Well, this poem is effectively about a cane-bottomed chair. It's about his den, about the place where he likes to sit. It's his personal private room. Well, it's not private because he entertains friends there, but it's full of all sorts of things. And this poem, it shows the Victorian fascination with nostalgia. It's celebrating the memory of all the beautiful objects, all of the objects in his room, and not the beauty of these objects, but the beauty of the memories that he attaches to them. And for him, this room is a world of sentimentality. But for him, the most important thing in the room is the cane-bottomed chair, because it brings back memories of Fanny. And clearly he's still in love with Fanny, because one day Fanny sat on that chair. And he's still in love with her, and he still remembers her. We don't know how long ago this was, but we imagine it's quite a long time. And let's see, it reflects about the passage of time, that time has gone by. And one of the things I like about this poem is it reflects all the imperfections, the problems with all of these little objects, but the fact that he loves them anyway because they remind him of different things. And I think he celebrates in this perfection. It's almost a type of wabi-sabi, this Japanese idea of beauty in things that are not perfect, beauty in the way things are because they've been lived in, they've been used. So, in tattered old slippers that toast at the bars, and a ragged old jacket perfumed with cigars, away from the world and its toils and its cares, I've a snug little kingdom up 4 pairs of stairs. So this room is at the very, very top of the house, and he likes to go there, and he likes to wear his broken old slippers, and he puts his feet close to the bars of the fire, and he wears a broken old jacket that smells of cigars. But this room, it's away from the world, it's away from the problems of the world. This is a place where nobody will disturb him. To mount to this realm, to go up to this kingdom, is a toil to be sure. But the fire there is bright and the air rather pure. So it's up 4 pairs of stairs, so it's a long way to go up. And it's quite hard to get there. He's tired by the time he gets there. But this place to him is wonderful. The fire there is bright and the air rather pure. This gives the idea of the feeling of the place. He feels good there. He feels positive. He feels better. That fire is brighter and air is purer. And the view I behold on a sunshiny day is grand through the chimney-pots over the way. So this room is at the very top of the building, and it's got a view over the roofs. You can see through the chimney-pots and into the distance. This snug little chamber, this comfortable little room, is crammed in all nooks. In every corner it's crammed with worthless old knicknacks and silly old books. So it's full of little objects, of old books, and foolish old odds and foolish old ends, cracked bargains from brokers, cheap keepsakes from friends. So all of the things in this room, these are old things. These are things he's kept. These and they're very often cracked bargains. So they've got imperfections. They're not perfect. They're cheap keepsakes from friends, things that friends have given him. So these things, he doesn't keep them because they're valuable, because they're worth lots of money. The value in them is the memories he associates with them, the things he did when he was given them, when he bought them, that he did with them. And then he gives examples: old armour, prints, pictures, pipes, china, all cracked. And here, all of the china is cracked. Old rickety tables, if it's rickety it doesn't stand well. And chairs broken back, so chairs where the back is broken. A twopenny treasury, wondrous to see. What matter? 'Tis pleasant to you, friend, and me. So it's full of cheap things. It's a treasury of things that are worth 2 pennies. But they're wondrous to see. They're interesting. They're different. And it doesn't matter that they're cheap, because this room is pleasant. It's pleasant for you, my friend, who are sitting here, and it's pleasant for me. No better divan need the Sultan require than the creaking old sofa that basks by the fire. So a divan is a bed. So I think he often sleeps on the sofa. And there's an old sofa that is warm by the fire. Let's see. You bask in the sun. A human or an animal basks. But here the sofa is basking. The sofa is comfortable by the fire. I love the way he's using the word bask, because it's implying that the sofa itself is comfortable by the fire. And it gives the feeling that the whole room is comfortable. So, and I think he is the Sultan of this kingdom. He's the Sultan of this room. And 'tis wonderful surely what music you get from the rickety, ramshackled, wheezy spinet. A spinet is like a harpsichord. It's a type of stringed piano, but old-fashioned. And it's rickety and ramshackled. It's not in very good condition. But he loves the music that comes from it. That praying rug came from a Turkoman's camp. So there's a Turkoman carpet on the floor. It's a prayer rug. By Tiber once twinkled that brazen old lamp. So there's a brass lamp, and this lamp once shone beside the river Tiber in Rome. A Mamluk fierce young dagger has drawn, and the dagger over there was drawn by a Mamluk. I think a Mamluk was a mercenary, or enslaved mercenaries who fought in the Arab and Ottoman dynasties. 'Tis a murderous knife to most toast muffins upon. So it's a beautiful dagger, but he uses it to toast his muffins on the fire. Long, long through the hours and the nights and the chimes, here we talk of old books, old friends, and old times. So with his friend or with his friends, he talks through the night about all the things of the past. This is a wonderful place to talk about things. As we sit in a fog made of rich lataki. Okay, lataki is a type of tobacco. So they're smoking lataki tobacco, and there's a fog, there's a cloud of tobacco smoke. This chamber is pleasant to you, friend, and me. So it's a pleasant room for me to be in. It's a pleasant room for you to be in. We're both comfortable. We talk through the night and the chimes of the bells, the hours chiming. But of all the cheap treasures that garnish my nest, but of all the cheap treasures in his room, in his den, that decorate his den, there is one that I love and I cherish the best. But the one thing that I love most, for the finest of couches that's padded with hair. So this is a chair or a seat, something to sit on, and it's padded with horsehair. It's normally the inside of Victorian upholstery and Victorian things is made of horsehair. I would never change thee, my cane-bottom chair. So the thing that he loves most is the cane-bottom chair. It's got the bottom is made of cane. 'Tis a bandy-legged, high-shouldered, worm-eaten seat. So it's probably made of rattan or something like that. It's bandy legs. Its legs are bowed round. It's high shoulders and it's worm eaten. It's full of woodworm, with a creaking old back. So when you sit in it, it goes, and twisted old feet. But since the fair morning whence Fanny sat there, I bless thee and love thee, old cane-bottomed chair. But ever since the day that Fanny sat there, this chair is his favourite bit. This is his favourite memory of Fanny. If chairs had but feeling in holding such charms, a thrill must have passed through your withered old arms. So if chairs could feel, then the thrill of having such a beautiful, wonderful woman in your dried up old arms must have made you feel wonderful. I looked and I longed and I wished in despair. I wished myself turned to a cane-bottomed chair. So at that moment he wishes that he was the chair and that Fanny was sitting in him. It was but a moment she sat in this place. She'd a scarf on her neck and a smile on her face. A smile on her face and a rose in her hair, and she sat there and bloomed in my cane-bottomed chair. So she had a scarf round her neck, she was smiling, she got a rose in her hair, but we don't know who Fanny is, and clearly he was in love with Fanny. But one day she sat there for a moment, and this is the memory that he cherishes most. And so I have valued my chair ever since. So ever since the moment she sat there, I've valued the chair. Like the shrine of a saint or the throne of a prince. So a shrine is a holy place where a saint has been, or the throne that a prince sits on. And for him, this chair is the same as that. Sweet Fanny, my patroness, sweet I declare, the queen of my heart and my cane-bottomed chair. So he's saying, Fanny, I love you. You are the person my heart loves best. Yeah, and you are the queen of my chair. When the candles burn low and the company's gone, in the silence of night, as I sit here alone, but we yet are a pair. My Fanny I see in my cane-bottomed chair. So when everybody's gone and it's late at night and the candles are burning low and it's silent, he imagines himself, or he sees himself sitting there with Fanny in the chair. So he's sitting looking at the cane-bottomed chair, and he sees her in it. She comes from the past and revisits my room. So this is clear nostalgia, that Fanny was a love from the past. We don't know what's happened to her. Maybe the relationship broke up, or maybe she died. But she comes and she revisits his room. She looks as she then did, all beauty and bloom. So she looks as she did at that time, all beauty and all blooming. So clearly it was a long time ago that Fanny sat there. So smiling and tender, so fresh and so fair. So she's young and beautiful and fresh and fair. And yonder, over there, she sits in my cane-bottomed chair. So he loves the chair because it evokes the memories of the past. It evokes memories of this woman. And he's overcome by sentimentality and nostalgia, and thinking of the wonders of the past and how wonderful the past is, and that's what makes this room so beautiful to him. So enough.